Hey, you knuckleheads. Welcome into the Kickin' It with Kiz podcast. I'm your host, Mark Kiszla, sports columnist with the Denver Post. This podcast is brought to you by Argonaut Wine and Liquor, featuring Buffalo Trace Bourbon, and my good friends at Midwest One Bank. It's 2024, y'all. So I've got some fearless predictions for 2024, including Shedeur Sanders and the Rockies, and who is going to be the Broncos quarterback. We'll get to all that in just a second, right after this message from Argonaut Wine and Liquor. Argonaut Wine and Liquor. It's where the party begins. Whether you're watching the big game or hosting friends and family for the holidays, Argonaut has everything you need to get the party started. Great wine at a great price. The best beers from across America. Buffalo Trace Bourbon. Argonaut has it all with over 15,000 items in the store. From friendly advice to a quick checkout, Argonaut has it. Conveniently located on East Colfax with plenty of free parking, make Argonaut your first stop for a great weekend. Need a hand in your party plans? Argonaut delivers. Take it from me and go see my friend Ron Vaughn at Argonaut Wine and Liquor, or order straight from the website at argonautliquor.com.
I like when the bees start to bumble, the beats start to wrestle, summer breeze never hurt anyone.
Welcome back into the Kickin' It with Kiz podcast. I'm Mark Kiszla, the chief knucklehead around here. And y'all know that I can foresee the future like few people can. So let's do some fearless predictions for 2024. I'm not guaranteeing you this stuff's going to happen, but it's nice to think about. Let's start with the CU Buffs. They were pretty much, that football team, Deion Sanders, was pretty much the story of 2023, along with the Nuggets winning their first championship. So what do I see in 2024? I see a lot of good stuff. Shedeur Sanders is the star of this program. Sorry, Deion, but your kid, you done really good with that quarterback. And he's going to be him this year. I fearlessly predict Shedeur Sanders, now that he has a for real offensive line, will stay healthy and he'll sling it. And he's going to be a Heisman finalist. Can my crystal ball see him winning it? Not quite yet, but he's got a real chance. He's got a real chance. The Buffs will get to the bowl game this year. They're moving to the Big 12, where there's mighty Central Florida, because, of course, that's a traditional Big 12 team. In the Big 12, they'll have a little less competition, and the Buffs will win at least 7 games. They could win 10. Shedeur will be the star, and he's going to parlay that into being a top 10 draft pick a year from now in 2025. So Heisman finalist, top 10 draft pick, quarterback of a bowl team. Except you know what? It isn't going to be a playoff game, and Shedeur is going to be a top 10 draft pick, so he's going to skip the bowl game. He won't. He'll lead the Buffs to a bowl game. He just won't play in it. And one more thing. Off this exciting Buff season, Deion Sanders is going to take the money and run. So enjoy Deion and Shedeur and Shiloh too while you can. It's going to be a heck of a 2024 with a lot of commotion at the end of that season. Let's move to the Nuggets. Fearless prediction for 2024 of the Nuggets. The Joker, our pal Nikola Jokic, will win his 3rd MVP. He'll do it. There'll be a lot of pressure. There'll be a lot of media hype for Joel Embiid to win it again. Jason Tatum will certainly be a factor with Boston. But I think Joker's going to win it. However, the Nuggets will not repeat. They will get eliminated by a team that beat them badly at home just recently. They'll get eliminated in the Western Conference semifinals, finals, one of them two. Let's be optimistic. The Nuggets will get eliminated in the Western Conference Finals by Oklahoma City. And what's significant about that is that championship window, even when you have the Joker, is not that big because OKC is a young, talented team that isn't going anywhere and should only get better in the next 2 or 3 years. So Joker will win his third MVP, and that won't be nearly as difficult as winning his second NBA title, whether that be this year, next year, or any year down the road. What fearless predictions would be complete if we didn't include the Colorado Rockies? But before I get to the fearless prediction, let's do a pop quiz for all you out there. Quick, name me 5 Colorado Rockies. Go ahead. I'll give you time. See, there's Kyle Freeland. Chris Bryant plays sometimes. Herman Marquez is coming back from injury. Charlie Blackmon's still there. If you can name 5, I guess there's the shortstop. But if you can name 5, you're a better man than me. And if you can name 7, you can manage this club. No offense, Bud Black, but this is the next part of the fearless prediction. This will be Bud Black's last season as skipper of the Colorado Rockies, because your Rockies, as you might remember, lost 100 games last year, and they're going to do it again this year. They're going to go back-to-back with 100 loss seasons. It's hard to win back-to-back NBA championships, but if you're the Rockies, it's not difficult to lose 100 games 2 years in a row. Maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't. The Rockies also have gone that same route that the Avs and the Nuggets have in recent years. Their TV deal is in a lot of trouble. It will get worked out, and I think you'll be able to see the games. I won't guarantee it, and I'm not sure why you'd want to watch the games, but I think you will be able to see the games on local television. However, the money from that TV package won't be nearly what it once was. And here's my real fearless prediction. We've prayed for this for years. And I know Dick Monfort wants to pass this team along to his sons. But I think between the losing and the criticism and the reduced income from TV revenue, I'm not saying he's going to sell the team this year, but I think between all facets of the Kroenke family, the Walmart family, whether it's Stan Kroenke or Greg Penner, whether it's the ownership of the Broncos or the ownership of the winter sports teams in town, I think Dick Monfort will have a real temptation and maybe several billion reasons to finally seriously consider selling this baseball team. And wouldn't that be great? Another fearless prediction, a happy little one. Your CSU Rams and CU Buffs basketball teams will both be dancing in March. They both will go to March Madness. Isaiah Stevens and former Buff Nick Clifford will lead the Rams to the Mountain West title and an automatic bid, and probably a 4, 5, or 6 seed. And the Sea Buffs will be up and down in the tough final season of the Pac-12, but guard KJ Simpson's going to average 20 in conference. Cody Williams, the young freshman, will get better and better as the season goes on. Though the Buffs, 6 to 8 seed. And this is the crazy part. How about the Rams and the Buffs? How about the Rams and the Buffs meeting in the Sweet 16? Would that be cool or what? And last but not least, fearless prediction, Broncos. Will we ever stop talking about the Broncos quarterback? Nope. You can write about if you're me, you can write about the Broncos quarterback yesterday and today and tomorrow and the day after that. I don't know about you, but Jarrett Stidham was good at getting in and out of the huddle, and he was good at pocket presence. But against the Chargers, a Chargers team that I think looked like had given up, he led the Broncos to 16 points. That ain't going to get it done, especially when just a couple weeks earlier, our man Russell Wilson led the Broncos to 24 points against that same Chargers team. So my fearless prediction is Jarrett Stidham will be the starting quarterback in the season opener in 2024, but he won't finish the season as the starting quarterback. This is going to be tough for our man Sean Payton because he don't like anybody, especially young players that make mistakes. But I do fearlessly predict, easy for me to say, the Broncos will draft a quarterback in the first round. Now, will it be Bo Nix of Oregon, J.J. McCarthy of Michigan, or Michael Penix Jr. of Washington? I don't know what Sean Payton thinks. I don't know what George Payton thinks, provided that the general manager will still be around by the time of the draft. But I know what I think. The Broncos should take Michael Penix Jr., the big left-hander. He's had some injury issues. Those medical reports at the Combine will be really, really important. But as you remember, the Nuggets took a chance on an MPJ that had some physical issues, and that turned out okay for the Nuggets. I would advise the Broncos to take a chance on this MPJ and see how well that works out. Hey, I know you all are proud Bronco maniacs. Me? I'm a proud bourbon geek. If football is America's game, bourbon is America's drink. And one of the best bourbons in America is Buffalo Trace, available at Argonaut Wine and Liquor. Found in the heart of bourbon country, next to the Kentucky River, is Buffalo Trace, the world's most revered distillery. After covering the game for the Denver Post, I love to sit back, relax, and sip on a fine bourbon. Buffalo Trace is great in a cocktail and even better on the rocks. Want to talk sports with me? Pour me a drink and make it Buffalo Trace. And now, back to the show. Welcome back into the Kickin' It with Kiz podcast. I'm the chief knucklehead, Mark Kiszla, especially in this segment. This is our gambling segment, the segment I like to call Take Your Best Shot, or you could call it Don't Take No Gambling Advice from Kiz, because this is quite possibly, not even quite possibly, this is almost certainly the worst gambling advice you will get all week. But you only get it right here on the Kickin' It with Kiz pod. And why don't we look ahead to the national championship football game? I just, earlier in this pod, I mentioned what a big fan I am of Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. And he'll be leading those undefeated Washington Huskies against the undefeated Michigan Wolverines and evil Jim Harbaugh. Can I call him evil Jim Harbaugh? I just did. If you had a choice, now I'm getting sidetracked, but that's all right. If you had a choice to go to dinner with either Jim Harbaugh of Michigan or Sean Payton of the Broncos, what would you choose? I think I'd choose takeout and go home. But that's beside the point. Let's talk about this game a little bit. Michigan's a 4.5-point favorite. That sounds about right. These two teams will be in the Big Ten next year. That doesn't sound right at all. That sounds goofy to me. But the betting prop that I like best is the over-under at 55.5 points. Michigan has a really good defense. Washington has no defense. No defense is a little harsh, but Washington's defense is not that good. I do think Washington will be very competitive in this game. And to be very competitive in this game, Washington, because the Huskies will give up points, will have to score points. So I think this game feels like 31-28 to me, 35-31, 38-27, something like that. My math skills are not very good, but I think all those scores I'm throwing out there are over 55.5 points. So I'll be cheering for touchdowns in this game. And if you're gambling and you want to take this silly advice, you will be cheering for those touchdowns as well. Michael Penix Jr., my personal favorite college quarterback this season, his prop is 297.5 yards passing. If the Huskies are going to be competitive in this game, he's got to throw for 300 yards. So there it is right there. If you think Michigan's going to dominate, take that under. And if you think the Huskies are going to be competitive, you got to take that over. One more thing. I saw this prop bet, and I think it's fun. I don't know if there's any money to be made on it. But Jim Harbaugh coaches Michigan for now until he has the inevitable dalliance with the NFL as soon as this game's over. And his brother, John Harbaugh, who really is a good dude, coaches the Baltimore Ravens. And the prop bet is, will the brothers both win championships this season? Will Jim's Michigan Wolverines and John's Baltimore Ravens both win championships? Ravens, obviously, the Super Bowl, and Michigan in the college football championship game. Well, they're both the favorites. Both teams are the favorites, and it would be pretty wacky if brothers both won championships. But the odds that I saw on this are plus 550. That's not enough. So if you want to make a fun bet on the brothers. But you ain't going to win it. But what do I know? This is the worst gambling advice in all of America right here on the Kickin with Kids podcast. Let me tell you about Midwest One Bank for all your business and online banking needs. Midwest One is conveniently located at 19th and Wynkoop, which is right next to Coors Field. But the reason to bank at Midwest One is the personal attention and expertise that you will get from my friends Kevin Conroy and Joe Van Haslen. When it's time to get down to business, let their decades of knowledge in Denver business go to work for you. Don't get one banker's advice, but tap into the entire winning team that Kevin and Joe have put together at Midwest One. Let them help you put your vision and dreams into reality. Midwest One, the bank for all your business needs. Go see Kevin and Joe. They bring a personal approach to commercial banking at Midwest One. Simply better banking. This is the parting shot, the last segment of Kicking It with Kiz each and every week. And I like to finish up with one of you, one of my listeners, one of my dear readers, telling me what a knucklehead I am. That's easy work. This time, Rick gets to take the parting shot. and he's talking about Jarrett Stidham and the Broncos and my dear buddy Sean Payton. He starts by saying, "Kiz, I've read you forever and generally agree with your take. But lately I found your objectivity slipping with too much anger at Coach Sean Payton. I'm not sure you and your fellow scribes were paying enough attention to the Broncos' victory over the Chargers and the different way that Jarrett Stidham plays quarterback than Russell Wilson." "I don't know if Stidham's the answer," said Rick, "but his way of playing the position offers the Broncos a much greater chance of success. Wilson starts running backwards immediately after the snap and can't see any open receivers and can't see over his blockers and doesn't have a chance. And that results in a sack or dumping off a pass to a running back. I'm so tired of watching other teams execute offensively and the Broncos looking like Pencil Pat Shurmur never left the building. Thanks in advance for your response. Your pen pal, Rick." Well, Rick, I agree. Russell Wilson's plays quarterback in a way that drives coaches or can drive coaches and fans crazy. He doesn't paint inside the lines, does not color inside the lines very well. So what he does best with his improvisation and what he does worst by not seeing open receivers are outside the norm of your everyday, ordinary NFL quarterback. Jarrett Stidham does color inside the lines better than Russell Wilson. But you know what Jarrett Stidham is? Your everyday, average NFL backup quarterback. Russell Wilson found a way to win a Super Bowl. Jarrett Stidham ain't never winning the Super Bowl. So Jarrett Stidham, if he's your starting quarterback for the Broncos in 2024, good luck with that. That's our little show for today. I want to thank Argonaut Wine and Liquor, featuring Buffalo Trace and my good friends at Midwest One Bank for making this show possible. I want all y'all to remember we're all knuckleheads, so lend a hand when you can. Talk to you soon.
I like when the bees start to bumble, the leaves start to wrestle, summer breeze never hurt anyone. I like when I see all the couples, their feet start to shuffle as they're dancing to their favorite songs. Beautiful day, you cannot steal my joy, get out my face. Don't wanna hear that noise, so go away. I'll walk you to the door, this is a place without war. Please tell me what you want from me. Wait a minute, I think I got a hunch indeed. I'm happy and misery likes company, but on that lonely road I can't accompany so much tranquility. Why would I want to leave? The only thing that's blue here is the sky and beach. You must be new here, let me assign your seat, help you find your peace. I like when the bees start to bumble, the leaves start to wrestle, summer breeze never hurt anyone. I like when I see all the couples, their feet start to shuffle as they're dancing to their favorite song.
Yes, Lord, late night drives on the back road. Shawty need a light for a backwood. Later in the night, she go backward. After that, take her back home, back up. Shawty got the back up. Argue every day, dog swear I was back up. Two-way street, I was sorry, I was backed up. I'll make love, we back up. That's a bad dad joke, funny ain't my sad joke. Working on my shadow, couldn't mean I'm more proud of my own biggest doubter. I'm still man of the hour, sharing in my head, I'm quietly the loudest. Wow, as dumb as it sounds, I'd be proud as a child now to see where I'm at now.